not too far from Charahoe, we go to Charlestown and back to the Charlestown Senior Center with our beloved Boomer Zoomers. We have two today. Bill, introduce yourselves.
Boomer Zoomers, Boomer Zoomers, Boomer Zoomers, Boomer Zoomers. Connecting through Zoom is the way to go. So let's dive right in. It's Boomer Zoomers.
Hi, I'm Bill Isabella. I'm here every week with, of course, my good friend Ken McCord, sitting to my left.
Ken, lift that lovely face up. You got it hidden behind your cap looking down. Let show the world that
There you
beautiful
go.
goatee you got there.
Lovely face. Wait, but Ken doesn't have one of those. I'm sorry.
You want to see me lose 50 points IQ?
Just like that, huh?
There you
Ken, always the ball chopper, huh? Okay.
go.
All right.
Oh boy, you don't know the half of it. Let me tell you.
Hey, I'm a boomer too, I guess. You guys, so that's your name, Boomer Zoomers. And by the way, we should remind everybody that all of your little episodes, we've clipped them out. And if people just go to oceanstatecurrent.com, Boomer Zoomers, or they just pick Boomer Zoomers from the drop down under watch, all of your great episodes can be seen right on Ocean State Current. Each is about 15 minutes in length. All right, Bill, I know at least you and Ken, and I'd like to know how many others were shocked at some of the explicit details that were read out loud at a United States Senate committee hearing. Here, and I know that's something you wanted to talk about. This was earlier this week, September 12th, the Senate Judiciary Committee held a hearing essentially on what the left wants to call us as book banners, so on book banning. But I'll tell you what, Bill, after here, we'll play some of the comments in a second, but after hearing some of the explicit words that are being put in front of our children, maybe book banning, after all, isn't a bad idea. What do you think, Bill?
Well, I still think book banning is a bad idea.
Right, of course.
What I am opposed to is inappropriate books being read or available to children at certain ages. The book Gender Queer was by the author who came out earlier today. He said that book was never intended for young children. That book was intended for parents to let them know about their child. But somehow the left has latched onto this book, brought it into the realm of young school-age children, fourth graders, sixth graders, and made it a book that they can take out on their own at the request of nobody but the child or the librarian. And then they try to sell it to us as the right trying to ban books. Well, we're not trying to ban books. What we're trying to do is to keep some books out of inappropriate places, and that's the misnomer there. I think we have to get off that banning book thing. Print the book all you want. Let the book survive on its own if it can. But let's not ban books at all. But stop telling me that I want to ban books because I don't want a book like that being in the front of a fourth grader.
Yeah, it's just a fake news wordplay by the left. Of course, we have movie ratings, right? We have X-rated, R-rated that young kids can't see.
Right.
Essentially, that's what we're saying. These are essentially X-rated books, and they shouldn't be in public school libraries. That's up to parents if they want to show them. Ken, we're going to play the details in a minute. Had you heard some of the detailed description in these books before you saw this video that we're about to play from Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana?
Yes, I have, and I have my own comment on it.
Go ahead. You want us to play the video first?
Now, are you going to have the actual soundtrack?
Yeah, let me play the video and the sound right here, and then you can make your comments so everybody can see exactly what happened. To many people's shock across the country. You would think that people know by now with all this controversy, but apparently a lot of people did not. All right, let's listen to just a few seconds here of Senator John Kennedy at that committee hearing in the U.S. Senate.
Let's take two books that have been much discussed. The first one is called All Boys Aren't Blue. and I will quote from it. I put some lube on and got him on his knees, and I began to slide into him from behind. I pulled out of him and kissed him while he masturbated. He asked me to turn over while he slipped a condom on himself. Wow. This was my ass, and I was struggling to imagine someone inside me.
All right, I'm not, you get the gist. This is on and on, page after page. Ken, a prominent national guest I had on yesterday, James Lindsay, said that scenes like this have to be repeated in school committees, town councils, and other elected official chambers across America. We have to show them, not just tell them about it. We have to show them what's happening in our schools and our middle schools, even at this. Your comments, Ken McCourt.
All right. It's not about the First Amendment, freedom of speech. Each community establishes what they call a community standard for the definition of pornography. That's what this is. And as such, they determine what can and cannot be bought or sold in their community with certain physical guidelines, like not within 100 yards of a school, for instance. But that there are laws that the individual states, the individual counties and towns have passed laws against pornography. That's what this is. And it's a perverted pornography also, so that there are laws on the books. We don't have to create any kind of new congressional hearing or anything. There are already laws on the books that we're not stopping the banning of the books and stuff like that. We're not stopping it. We're just limiting its distribution.
That's absolutely key. Again, the left continues to try to make it so we're trying to ban a free speech issue. We're not trying to ban it. I don't want to ban it. Quite frankly, this is for someone it might be abnormal behavior, but somebody else could be perfectly normal. That's fine, as long as it's safe, sane, and consensual between adults. That's great. Go ahead, do whatever you want to do. I could care less. But when it comes to children, why pervert children at such a young age? Let them discover for themselves what they want, and if they want to at a much older age. But at 4th grade, 6th grade, sorry, way over the top. And stop making it about controlling free speech.
Ken, you may be surprised to hear what I'm about to tell you, because I was surprised when I learned it too. When we originally covered this, a year or so ago, we were advised by lawyers, this actually is not pornography legally, from a legal point of view. It clearly is from a but legally, pornography is designed as something whose purpose is to elicit sexual arousal. What it is, according to the law, is sexually explicit material. Now, to you and me and any common sense person, it's the same thing. But what do you think of that stupid, but actually very legal distinction between the two?
Personally, I think it's nonsense. That if you look at the individual communities, as I've mentioned before, that part of it is on the moral upbringing of the people concerned, and it's lacking.
Agree. These are, and I have said it, I would go further than that, Ken. These are mentally unstable people who want to put this stuff in front of kids. It's not just immoral. These are emotionally unstable people who want to indoctrinate our kids with this filth and stuff like Bill, like you said, that they're just not ready for at young ages. So it goes way, I mean, Ken is right. It's immoral, but I think it goes way beyond that. Bill, is this a topic you discussed with your group?
Absolutely, yes.
And was there any disagreement in your, because not everybody is conservative or liberal or whatever in your group. Did anybody disagree and believe that this stuff is appropriate for children?
Nobody disagreed with that. There were some people that thought they should be banned. I will say that. Others thought, like myself, I'll put mine in that category. I don't think it should be banned from being printed. If somebody wants to buy it, let them buy it. But to serve this up in front of a school-age children, a elementary school-age children, everybody was in complete conformity with saying, no, this should not be. Very inappropriate, very inappropriate.
All right, let's move on to our next topic you sent to us, and this is, I just want to cover a quick minute on this one before we get to the leadership in the U.S. House GOP. But this is just kind of comical. This Burbank being spanked. I mean, here we go again with the profanity or the lewd stuff. Being spanked by what is that? A drag queen, I guess.
A drag queen, yeah, it's a drag queen. Yeah.
What were your group's thoughts on this?
Once again, it's the same thing. Everybody, when they saw it, I mean, I played the entire video. When everybody saw it, the head went to the hand, or hand went to the head, and said, shaking the head. Why? But why do we do this? Why do we think that a political person, will gain favor by doing something like this? I mean, if you want to do that in private, go ahead. But to make a public spectacle of yourself, I just don't understand it. Our culture has devolved to a point where anything goes, and this clown of a mayor thinks that that's going to curry him good favor. Boy, oh boy, not in my book, anyway.
And Ken, they even called it a child-friendly event.
Yeah, child-friendly, right? Exactly. Golly.
Yeah, I think this, obviously a mayor, I think, of a town or something, that he's catering to fringe elements of his constituency.
No question. It's virtue signaling, and I don't understand, because I know that the majority of people, just like in your group, don't buy this stuff, but yet somehow these people who virtue signal like this somehow keep getting elected. I think it's because opposing candidates in the media don't make an issue out of it. I think it's a political winner if you take the side of common sense and decency, don't you?
Is it clickbait as opposed to anything else? Is it a way for his name to get out there? No matter if someone said that there's no such thing as bad publicity, is that what he's out after? Until we all raise up against this sort of behavior, I think it's going to continue to happen, and that's very, very, very bad, very bad.
Well, something else that's. Oh, go ahead, Ken.
We keep using the expression common sense. Well, to quote Mark Twain, common sense ain't so common.
That's outstanding. All right. Something else that some people continue is Kevin McCarthy's leadership as Speaker of the House. Now, earlier this year, when he was finally elected after how many votes? 15, 16 rounds of votes. There was kind of a stipulation put in there. If you upset, us and don't do what you promised to do, we're going to hold another vote and oust you as Speaker. And there are some people threatening that with his threat of a continuing resolution instead of individual spending bills, that he is violating his oath he made earlier this year, and there could be a move to oust him as the United States House Speaker. What do you guys think?
I think it's going to be interesting. Right now, they've extended the budget another 30 days to the end of October as opposed to the end of this month. Let's see what happens. I think Matt Gaetz and his cohorts, he's got a few of them, I think they're going to hold McCarthy's feet to the fire. Having said all that, I think McCarthy may have painted himself into a corner. I think he's trying to be too many things to too many different people. I kind of like what he's done thus far, McCarthy. I think he's managed to negotiate his way into some kind of deals. I think a few good things he's done, but I tell you what, this is a big one. We'll just have to wait and see. But I want to make sure that everybody knows that the gauntlet has been thrown down by Matt Gaetz, and let's see what happens with McCarthy.
And the reason it took so many rounds to elect McCarthy as Speaker, because a lot of conservatives felt like he was part of the problem, part of the swamp, if you may, and in the end wouldn't really do anything drastic to cut down the size of government and its influence and control over our lives. And they are claiming that by agreeing to a continuing resolution for any amount of time only perpetuates that big government attitude, and that he's never gonna get down to cutting it down to size. What size? What do you think?
Well, we saw the whole triad, if you will, on the video, that I got the first impression that it sounded to me like he was running a political campaign to run for the office or the position himself. But I'd like to bring to George Washington, the George Washington,
Okay,
that he had established a personal credo by which he lived his life. It was very simple. He said, deeds, not words. To translate from 1776 to 2023, actions speak louder than words.
Yep.
That if all we're going to hear are these words back and forth, we might as well put a hot air balloon over the Capitol and see where it goes. Maybe it'll fly over China. I don't know. But put your money where your mouth is, kind of thing. Do something instead of
yeah,
talking.
it's easy to say, yeah, cut me a little slack now, I'll get to the real issue next time. Well, people are saying, hey, let's cut to the chase and get to it right now. And by the way, there's always been a hot air balloon over the United States Capitol, no question.
And I think
about that.
Matt Gaetz has thrown the gauntlet down. I think he's very serious about this too. Time will tell. It's only a month and a few days away, so we'll see what happens. This
All right.
could permanently damage the Republican Party. That's the biggest concern that I
No,
have.
it really could. It really could. It's a big gamble. All right. When we have you guys back in a couple of weeks, you got to promise you're going to bring some more beauty back on too.
We'll have one of our resident beauties sing.
I mean, look, you got beautiful Martha back there, I can see, and every, so.
we have all the women that come here are beautiful, as a matter of fact.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
So,
All right, Bill Isabella, Ken McCord, thank you for your time today. Have a great meeting with your current events group down at the Charlestown
will.
Senior Center. And we thank you for joining us again today. And we
Thank you for
thank
having me.
you, our fans, for tuning in. Remember, you can watch all the Boomer Zoomer segments on oceanstatecurrent.com/boomerzoomers. For In the Dugout, Mike Stenos out. We will see you next game.